Alright, what's going on, guys? So a few days ago I've had some free time and I decided to check out every single heat action in the franchise. I have seen some that I've never seen before, but I have also seen some that really defy all logic. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Yakuza hit actions should make sense in the first place, but the truth is that probably 95% of them make sense for the most part. So I decided to shine some light on the remaining 5% that I personally think make no sense at all. And I would also like to mention that I won't be talking about Yakuza Like a Dragon hit actions, as none of them obviously don't make sense. Because they didn't happen, it's not real, it's all in his head, diversity, disability program, cancel culture, I'm sure you understand. At number 10, we have the iconic slapping heat action, which I'm sure most of you didn't know stems from the original Yakuza Ishin. Now, when you first look at it, you may not notice anything unusual, as I haven't for all these years, but let's think about what exactly happens here. He smacks the guy so hard he flies 3 feet in the air in one scene, and in the very next frame, the guy is somehow standing perfectly in front of him, getting smacked in the face again. How? First of all, if someone was to hit you so hard you actually go in the air, you'd be so knocked out there's no way in hell you're gonna fall down on your feet, standing, and take another beating. The other explanation would be that he knocked him out with the uppercut slap, the guy fell on the ground, knocked out, he waited by his side to wake him up, gave him some water, maybe a Snickers bar, so he could stand up again, and then smacked the shit out of him again.
What the fuck is going on?
At number 9, we have a unique heat action from the Lost Judgment Kaito Files expansion. Now, this one physically is possible, right? But what doesn't make sense to me is, how is this hurting the other guy? He basically picked him up and then he sat down with the guy on his shoulders. This just seems like it would hurt Kaito's booty cheeks a lot, because he's falling on his butt while carrying like 70 kilos on his shoulders, and maybe cause a strain on the other guy's neck, but that's pretty much it. Are there any martial arts, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, whatever experts to explain this? I would really appreciate some feedback.
Real fucked up, kind of bizarre combination of monkey shit.
Moving on to number 8, we have the Yakuza 3 drunken heat action. Now, this one doesn't make sense for a few factors, but let's talk about the speed first. He's not Barry Allen. He's not Quicksilver or A-Train. How the fuck can he literally teleport to the guy? And that's not even the most confusing part. He's not even running. I would understand if he ran for a few meters and then knocked the guy out NFL style, but he's literally sliding on the floor. Not running, he's sliding. Where is the ice? Who pushed him? Questions that we will probably never get the answer to. Look, even he's shook. At number 7, we have Akiyama's heat action from Yakuza 5. Now, this one is having Isaac Newton roll in his grave. It starts with Akiyama launching the enemy in the air, but if that wasn't enough, he keeps him in the air while he does his little fancy backflip, all while looking cool for the camera. Now, you're probably wondering what is keeping the guy in the air all the time. Well, if we take into account that Akiyama was born in 1978, and the main villain of Star Wars, Darth Vader, died in the 3rd installment of the trilogy called Return of the Jedi, which was released in 1983, which would mean Akiyama was 5 years old at the time. And what game is this? Yakuza 5, which also means there's no point discussing anything about it, because the game is what? Say it with me. 3, 2, 1, garbage. Moving on. Moving on to number 6, we have Judgment's most iconic heat action that we all love, but there are some details that just don't sit right with me. The very beginning of the heat action is Yagami apparently tripping the guy, launching him in the air by kicking him in the foot. You can see the guy goes in the air after whatever that is, but one thing he doesn't do is push him 5 feet away. Now with that little kick he ain't. Where is he going? How did he go from flying in the air after a little kick in the foot to being pushed back by a NFL player? And if that wasn't enough, Yagami grabs a grenade out of his pocket, off screen by the way, puts it in the guy's stomach, and he explodes, flying even further. Because what other force could all of a sudden blow the guy away from him? What the actual fuck is going on here? But this part is still the worst for me. Is Darth Vader doing his thing again? We'll never know. At number 5, we have a Kenzen classic, which is one of the easiest ones to trick you, as it took me a while to see what's really going on. It starts with Musashi kicking the guy forward in the air, creating solid distance between them, but the key word, forward. And in the next scene, the guy is launched up in the air, not far away from him, and Musashi simply jumps up, not forward, up, meaning the guy was never kicked forward and instead he was just launched up. He would have to jump forward to get closer to the guy that he pushed, but instead he just jumps up. What I'm really trying to say is that you need to play Kenzen. That's it. At number 4, we have another Ishin heat action. At number 3, we have another Isaac Newton classic, a heat action that was ported to Judgment and lost Judgment because of how awesome it is. But how much sense does it actually make? It starts off with the enemy being stuck in the air, of course, while our boy does his fancy spin, kicks him on the trampoline that a random person set up for this to work because it's impossible to do it on concrete. He bounces right up, and once again, Darth Vader saves the day by stopping gravity and keeping the guy conveniently in the air while our boy does more fancy spins in the air and kicks him to finish it off. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching art unfold before your very eyes. Moving on to number 2, we have the brand new Komaki Dragon King Essence from Sega's most recent flop, Like a Dragon Gaiden. In this epic heat action, we will witness Kiryu doing his signature move from Yakuza 3. I am so excited to see him kick that guy across the face in the most badass fashion. Let's check it out. Oh, it seems that there's a bug in my game that makes Kiryu miss the guy by like 2 feet and kick the ground instead? I'm sorry guys, Kiryu is old in this game. It can happen even to the best of us. Let's give him another chance. Is anyone else having this bug? Or did we actually go from Kiryu giving a guy brain damage in the coolest way possible to giving himself f***ing arthritis? Are you out of your mind? Talk about a downgrade, holy shit. Now, before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Now, this heat action is awesome. It makes no sense, obviously, but Saejima is just so strong and manly, and I love seeing him just go rough with that block of concrete, unlike this loser. What is this? Get him out of here.
Yeah, get him the hell out of here, will you please? Get him out of here. Throw him out.
Next up on the honorable mentions, we have a RGG classic that we can see in a lot of heat actions, and it's the guy sweeping him, you know, kicking so hard that the guy falls on the ground. Except here, the guy flies in the air after getting swept. We need to open a GoFundMe or something to pay for RGG developers' physics classes, cause this ain't it. Now what we have here is yet another slide classic from Yakuza 3, which we all have seen and loved, so despite not making a bit of sense, this heat action is a necessity if you want to make boring Yakuza 3 videos. And speaking of boring, this Yakuza 5 heat action has troubled almost all ancient philosophers with a question. How did the enemy disappear in the air and just appear out of nowhere on the ground? And that truly explains what Yakuza 5 is all about. And last but not least, at number 1, we have one of the most iconic heat actions of all time. and one of many original heat actions in Yakuza Kiwami, which would exactly be, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4 original heat actions. As every other heat action was reused from previous games, but not only is it original, it is also very stupid. So let's see what happens. The heat action starts with Kiryu uppercutting the guy so hard he flies in the air. And what happens next other than a flurry of forward punches? Hold on. How is the enemy staying in the air when he's punching him forward? If he actually had enough speed to punch an enemy multiple times in the air, the enemy would have to be directly above him. Does he have magnets in his arms? And when he's done punching him, where is the enemy? Is he stuck in the fucking air? Is he on the ground standing? How is he standing after all of that punching? Or how is he stuck in the air? Where is the guy from the moment he stops the punches until he punches him again? Where? I need answers. The video will not continue until you tell me. I'm waiting. Alright, before you guys start yelling in the comments, this video is obviously satire. Nobody expects Yakuza heat actions to make perfect sense. I get it. But I do have enough material for a sequel. So if you guys show some love on this video by liking and sharing with your friends, and I don't care that you don't have friends, Gilbert, share it with your teacher. I'm gonna drop the sequel regardless of what you do. Anyways, love you guys. See you in the next one. Bye!